G'day, welcome back to Dad vs Son. We're going on with our playthroughs of Combat Commander Europe, and our next scenario in our chronological order that we have is Scenario 20, a march in December, which pits the Finns against the Russians again. We're using map 20, which we've used before. Allies on the top of the map, away from us, Axis towards us. The situation report. I am not going to try and... I will try and pronounce these names, but God Almighty, please forgive me. Talvarij Talvajari, the Finland. I apologise. 12th of December 1939. As two battalions of Belayev's 139th Rifle Division skirted the north end of Lake Hivajazari in an attempt to outflank the Finnish defenders of Talvajari. One company was sent forward along a forest path to the southwest. As discipline within this group slackened and they began singing patriotic marching songs, likely brought on by the extra vodka rations issued just that morning, nearby elements of Task Force Pajari were alerted to their imminent arrival and set up an ambush for the unsuspecting Soviet forces. So, as we said, it's 1939. The VP marker is the number 4 space for the Allies. Time tracker 07. Troop quality, Allies line 4, Axis elite 3. Orders. Posture, Allies are recon, and the Axis are attack, and the Axis have initiative. We have Chit X as the objective, and that simply says elimination points are doubled. Right. Set up. Allies set up first 9 hexes deep from the top of the map, and then we set up second with the Finns from the bottom of the map 9 hexes deep. And the Allies have all of the objectives. So let's have a look here. So like I said, we've seen this map before, we've used it before, and when we did this last time with the Finns against the Russians, the Axis, the Finns, lost. So this is thematically great for us because now the Russians have control of all of the objectives. So we can surmise that this is one of their, like they said, maybe a supply route that they want to patrol as well. And they're diddly-bopping down through there and having lots of fun singing in their drunken voices. The troops that we have for the Russians is Sergeant Kovalev, Corporal Krylov, Corporal Gordov, 15 rifles, 2 MGs and 2 light MGs, and the Finns have Captain Antonelli, Lieutenant Pani, Sergeant Rivera, 15 CC, 3 LMGs and 8 Molotov cocktails. To the side I've just placed a green dice for the Finns to remind them that they have 6 cards, and a red dice with 5 because the Russians are recon. So what I will do is just let you know that the Allied units must set up first only on the road, and they can come down to the 9. So they could actually set up from here. Okay. So what I intend to do is I intend to set up Sergeant Kovalev sort of in the middle area here, being the center of the column, and I will set up Corporal Krylov in front, and then I'm going to roll a die and see whether Corporal Gordov and his people will end up right up the front, and they may be able to scoot straight off the board if they want, or right up the back and go from there. Once I set them up, I'll come back to you so you can have a look at what I've done, and then we'll go away, set up the fins, and at the same time as after we've set up the fins, we set up the Russian weapons. Okay, so the Russians have got a bit of a chance to see what the Finns have done before they set up their weapons. We're not using chits R, V or W. The Axis player can still discard a card even though he has given one or more orders. The Finns cannot voluntarily exit the map as long as there is at least one allied weapon on the board. Once there are no weapons, the Axis units may move or advance off any map edge numbered 6 or less. So effectively from 06 here, the whole way around to A6, they can go off. And as usual, the Axis is using the Italian deck and counters. Rightio, I will see you shortly after I've set up the Russians. Rightio, so welcome back. So I've got the Russians set out, and I've set them out basically like I said, Corporal Krylov here, the Sergeant in the middle, and ended up with Corporal Gordov up the rear. So I've adjusted it slightly, and what I've done is I've strung them out a little bit so it actually goes with the theme of the game, which is that they're a little bit drunk. So Corporal Krylov has a rifle unit in front, a rifle with him and a rifle behind. Then we have this one who is out of command radius. Sorry, in command radius of the sergeant. So we have rifle, 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 rifle in command radius, which would expect that the front part of the column would be fairly well contained. But at the back, that's when they're starting to straggle. So we have this rifle here, who are out of command radius. Then we have a rifle, rifle, rifle in command radius with Corporal Gordov, and then again the final two units of stragglers. So I think that's a realistic way to do it. If I was playing another human player, then yeah, I doubt that they would set it out like that. But to my way of thinking, this is thematically correct, and that's the way I'm going to play it. So if you don't like it, sorry. Righto, I'm going to go away, set up the fins. At the same time, I'll set up after I've done the fins, I'll set up the Russian weapons and explain why I have done that. Okay, won't be long. Rightio, back again. Okay, so I've set up the fins and I've set up the Russian weapons. So what I've done is I've put Sergeant Ravina up here. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 CC squads. These two have Molotovs. This one has an LMG. Corporal Gordov has a LMG here, and the reasoning for that is the tail of the column would usually have a bit of firepower. The other bit of firepower is with Corporal Krylov here, and the two medium machine guns are in the centre, so they can go forward or back. I have Lieutenant Pani here as the basically the anvil to everybody else's hammer, or in fact I think the central ones are probably more like a plier, they're squeezing them. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4 CC, 1 LMG, 2 cocktails as well, and then Captain Antonelli over here, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CC with 4 cocktails and 1 LMG. So the medium machine guns are with Sergeant Kovalev, and down here in Kovalev's control still as well. So as I was saying, having your heavier weapons there or your heaviest weapons there, allows them to move to the tail or the head of the column as necessary, and also helps to protect Sergeant Kovalev, who's a little bit worried about what's going on. He's not the bloke who issued the bloody vodka. That was the bloody lieutenant. You can't trust him. Right, so we're going to stop it there. Or are we? I think we're only at 10 minutes. Yep, we're going to get into it. So I'm going to draw some cards. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the fins. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Ruskies. Okay, let's see what damage the fins can do. Okay, so they have a fire, command, confusion, a fire, ambush, a recover, a move, crossfire, a fire, command, confusion, and a fire, command, confusion. So I think they're going to try and really be nasty this time. So the first one we're going to use is fire, command, confusion. And what we are going to do is we are going to hit the tail to start with. My reasoning be that that's a good ambush style. We hit the tail, which are the stragglers and those that would expect the front to be hit. Once stuff starts happening down here, everybody down the rest of the column will turn their heads back and look at back what there and go, what the hell's happening? And then we can hit them whilst they have their concentration somewhere else. So, first things first. We are going to activate Sergeant Ravina and his troops. So the first thing that's going to happen is this man is going to throw his cocktail right there. So that's the first attack. So have a look and yay, look at that, jammed. So what I'm going to take that jammed to mean is that it was that cold that the stupid Russian didn't actually throw it. He got scared, didn't happen. Okay, so that one's done. This man's going to throw his right there. Okay, so we'll do a draw again. Yep, that was good. So that's going to hit for 6 plus 12. It's 21 today, and we already have our first time mark. Okay. Yeah, so with satchel charges, if you do the, what do they call that roll? Da-da-da-da. The targeting roll, then it's just like it hasn't been used. So that's what I'm doing with the Molotovs as well. Okay, so roll that up. There we go. Okay, so we're at turn there. So we've done the deck. There is no sudden death roll. There is no defender because we have a recon and an attacker. So therefore there is no VPs. There is no smoke. There's no reinforcements. So we're left with dig-ins. Now the Finns have no dig-ins and the Russians have a fire no quarter, a recover spray fire, confusion grenades, recover assault fire, and rout assault fire. So no, they have none either. Righto, so this man here has been hit for 21 and he is 8. -1 is 7 for the road. And Molotovs, if you'll remember, totally eliminate cover. So there's no sense in trying to use conceal actions or anything else because it just don't work. You cannot escape from the petrol in the cocktail. So 7 plus 10. He had a good go, but he didn't get away. So he's hit. There we go. Okay, so this man has fired. his cocktail. This man has tried to fire it and he stuffed it up. So that leaves this one here as the only one that can still fire. So we're going to put some fire down from Sergeant Ravina and from this CC here. So we have 5, 6, 7 into there. And we have and that'll do. Okay, so we have 7 plus 8 is 15. And they have, let's make another check, but I don't think there was anything they could do. No. Okay. So they have 8, 9, minus 1 for the road is 8 there. 18 is safe. And the corporal is 6 minus 1 is 5. Plus 11 is 17. Righto. So they're both fine. Okay. So that's finished up there. We have another fire order. We're going to use this fire command confusion one. And now we're going to hit the head of the column. Hopefully with a little bit more finesse. Okay, so we're going to throw this cocktail into here. And we're going to throw this cocktail into here. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is Corporal Krylov's here. So we'll have a look. Was it successful? And it was. So it hits for 6 plus 4 is 10. It must have bounced off a tree branch or something. Okay, so it's hit for 10. So we have this gentleman here who is an 8 plus 1 minus 1. So he's on 8. And 6 is 14, so he's safe. And we have the corporal who is 7 minus 1 is 6. Plus 6 is 12, so he's safe as well. So at the moment, our Molotovs are about as much use as spitballs. Okay, let's try this one then. And it goes for 8, so that's good. And it hits for 7. So we are hitting for 13 this time. Okay, so here's 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 and 5 is 12. He is hit. Yay! I hear you say. Not really, but it sounded good. Okay. Right, that's all he can do. And then we have our third order that we can give, and it's going to be this fire command confusion. And what are we going to do? Okay, so we're activating Corporal Antonelli here, and we're going to throw a cocktail here, a cocktail here, a cocktail here, and this one there, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to start here with this one here. Righto, so he's thrown it, and it worked. And it is 6 plus 4. I keep losing the cards I want. Okay, so it's hit for 10. And he is on a 7. And he's fine with the event being a breeze, but we don't have any blazes or smoke. Righto, so that did nothing. Again. Okay, Sergeant Kovalov. And that one doesn't go. It wasn't thrown. Okay. This is not going well at all. So we have this one coming up here, and it was thrown successfully, and it hits for 6 plus 4. Is that the only number they've got in here? That's 10 again. Okay. And he's on 7 plus 8, so he's safe. And our last one down here with Corporal Krylov again. So It's successfully thrown. Hey, look at that. And it hits for 18. Righto. And that is the next turn. So we're up to time 2. We will reshuffle the fins again. Okay, as we said before, there is no sudden death at the moment, no VP gain, no smoke to remove, no reinforcements, so it just remains if the Ruskies have a dig in. And we'll do a quick check, and they have command smoke, recover spray, fire no quarter, recover assault, and rout assault, so no. Righto, so we have 18 into here, and we have 8, 9, minus 1 is 8. And we have a 6, is not enough. So he is hit. And we have 7, minus 1 is 6, plus 6 is not enough, and he is hit. Okay, so that's the 3 orders that the Finns can give, and they are going to... I'm going to put this move crossfire in to be replaced. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 new cards for the Finns, and they're left with a fire and a recover. Okay, we're at 21 minutes. I'll stop it there and we'll come back with the Russians. So hopefully this gets better for the Finns, but the Russians have been extremely lucky this turn. Okay, I'll see you shortly. Bye for now.